Nation, welcome to Manly Monday Live. My name is Brent, and I am the Fallible Man. And man, I am so excited to see you guys tonight. Boy, do we got things going on. Be sure and let us know where you're joining from and jump in the comments, guys. Shout out, let us know where you're from. Let us know that you're here. And if you are on Facebook and you can't see your cute little avatar here in the corner and you would like to, you can go over to StreamYard.com/Facebook and that can be added so you can be seen. If you're not wanting to be seen, that's okay. You don't have to be seen, but you'll just be a letter like Sarah is here. Thank you for that example, Sarah. Now, guys, it is not critical that you are recognizable, but we just love to hang out with you guys and see who is here and see who's joining us because this is an interactive show. And without you guys, it's just not as much fun. Sarah, can you give me some tunes in the background? This is killing me. I hate the dead silence. It's just not my thing, guys. But if you want to join us during the course of the show, take it down a little bit. There we go. Guys, if you want to join us during the live Q&A, there's a link in the description of whatever platform you're watching, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook. It doesn't really matter. There is a link in the description that takes you to a Google Docs link, and that lets you put in your question and give me an email address. I'm not sending you anything, guys. That email address is so I can send you an invitation to join me live during the Q&A. So if you like to join us live during the Q&A, that option is available, guys. So you can hit that link. Otherwise, if you just want to ask your question during the Q&A, you can put a QQ in front of your question, and it helps my engineers see that you have a question, so that way I can make sure and answer it. Now, if you're new to the show, I see Cassie Nelson is joining us. Hi, Cassie Nelson. Welcome to the Fallible Man Live, Manly Monday Live, whatever you want to call it. This is Manly Monday Live. Just like the mug says, guys. Now, if you guys have a question, let us know. Shout out, tell us where you're from. And if you're not used to the format of the show, this is kind of how it works. During the course of the show, I've got about 10 or 15 minutes worth of something, an idea I want to share with you, an idea I want to present to you for your thoughts. So you guys can consider it and see what you think. It's entirely up to you how you feel about it, but it's for your thoughts. During the second portion of the show, I will take Q&A questions for anything that falls under the Fallible Man banner, guys. That's man, husband, father, anything about growing yourself as a man, a husband, a father. That is what we're here to do. We are here to serve you and encourage you along your journey because we are all on that journey together. Now, with tax day upon us, which was really weird for this, maybe if you're under a certain age, tax day being on the 18th was not weird for you, but for all of us over a certain age, April 15th is the dreaded tax day. But with tax day being upon us, I thought we would talk taxes, but not those taxes, because that would be a boring, stinking show. No, I want to talk about the hidden costs of decisions that exact a heavy toll on your time, energy, and sometimes your finances. Most of these things are utterly avoidable with minimal investment on your part. And in today's show, we're going to go over 3 actions, guys. Count them. 1, 2, 3. 3 actions you need to take to stop paying this invisible tax in your life. Stop letting silly, avoidable things cost you more than they need to. These things add stress and burden to your life. We're not there yet. And my wife is ahead of me. Yes, we're talking about those things. These things add stress and burden to your life. The way and can weigh you. That threw me off, honey. And can weigh you down and interfere with joy in your life. No one likes paying taxes, so don't pay the ones that you usually don't pay any attention to, guys. It is that simple, and that is what we were talking about tonight, so let's get started. I see Common Man joining us. Nice to see you tonight, Dave. Common Man OCR is in the house. Guys, if you aren't following Common Man OCR on your social media, you are missing out. He is a man on a mission to encourage people and say, hey, if I can chase my health goals, then so can you. Because being an IT guy for years has taken a toll, and Dave is fighting back. He's not taking it, laying it down, and he is all about it. So be sure to follow @CommonManOCR on Facebook and on Instagram. And guys, pick up the encouragement there. It is a community. I see Cassie's joined us. And guys, I see more of you. So if you want to be recognized, if you want to be seen, jump in the comments. I love it when you guys get involved. It makes the show so much better. And let's roll into the first point. Now, as we're talking about 3 actions that you need to take, the first action, go ahead, Sarah, we're there, is the first action is you need to think first and act second. Now, guys, this is not a misleading title at all for this show because things take a toll on your life, right? That's what a tax is. A tax is a leveraged, usually financial penalty against something, right? It's a tax on something, a toll on something. It's the reason we're not British, right? Cheat taxes, unfair taxes, taxation without representation. Well, guess what? You are welcoming that into your life all the time because we don't think first, we act. In fact, we react to things. Brian Tracy said every minute you spend in planning saves 10 minutes in execution. That gives you 1,000% return of energy. Guys, that's an incredible thought. Wouldn't you love to have 1,000% return on the energy expenditure you put out? I know all of us who work full-time jobs and have other people in our lives are all going, wait, sign me up. How do we fix that, right? It is so critical that you stop and think first. We are a reactive society, and it's just how it is, unfortunately. That's the way we've been trained, and that's the way we've been pushed along our life. And guys, that's a horrible situation to be in and a horrible practice. Stop being reactive. Stop and think. This is a conversation I have with my daughters who are watching all the time is stop, look, think, then react. Okay? Stopping and thinking, those couple extra moments will change your life radically because unfortunately we're often driven by our emotions, and that's something we'll get into, but unfortunately it often causes us to react before we actually stop and really consider the situation. And that knee-jerk reaction, right? You have to look at catalyst events, right? Let me give you an example. So I went to the movies a couple weeks ago, and I automatically went to the theater that I like to go to because I just like to go to it, right? My brain wasn't processing. I was just like, woohoo, I'm going to go see this movie. It's going to be awesome. And that was Morbius, by the way, and I enjoyed the movie. You may not like it. Let me know if you've seen it in the comments. But I automatically just went instinctively with where I go instead of calling around and checking prices. And so it actually cost me a lot more to go to that movie because I chose to go farther away from home than I had to, because I chose to go to a nicer theater than I had to, because I chose not to eat, right? I just went, hey, I'm excited. I'm getting off work. I'm going to the movies, man. That was an incredibly expensive movie. I could have gone to the same movie at a pretty nice theater that's much closer to home, like 20 miles closer to home. And the ticket was like $6 less. I ended up spending a whole lot more because I just went on instinct. I didn't stop and think before I acted. And I spent way more money than I had intended to spend. That is what happens, right? That's a small scale idea of how this works, guys. But if you don't stop and think, these are the unintended taxes. I did not intend to spend that much money to go see this movie. Yeah, that's right, Cassie. Comfy seats. No, I get it entirely, man. I went down to the VIP, and for you guys who don't live in the same area as I do, we have a theater called the Gateway Theater in Wenatchee. It has the VIP seating, and it is like lounge chairs, and they serve beer and wine, and you can get real food, and it has spoiled me. But the seats are $17.50 a piece, and they didn't even have a beer I like on tap, and they wanted to charge me $8 a can for the beer I do drink. I was like, nope. So I totally didn't even get a beer out of the deal, and that was what I was hoping for, because but guys, those are the unintended taxes that you pay when you when you act without thinking. Dale Carnegie is famous for saying an hour of planning saves you 10 hours of doing. It is an incredible thought, guys. An hour of planning saves you 10 hours of doing. And if you don't know who Dale Carnegie is, you need to dig into your history a little bit. Dale Carnegie is a fascinating man. No other judgments, just he's a fascinating man. All he did, all he accomplished. And it's amazing. This man, an hour of planning saves you 10 hours of doing. So I want you to think first and act second, guys. That is so important. Now, guys, if you're jumping in, we are talking about the invisible taxes you pay and the only 3 actions you need to stop paying those taxes. So that's what's going on tonight. You can see the banner going. Be sure to jump in. Let us know where you're joining us from. Let us know that you're here. We love to interact. It is so much more fun when you guys get involved in the show and such a better show. So going in, guys, let us know. Did you see Morbius? What was the last movie you saw? Maybe it wasn't Morbius. I took my kids to see Sonic 2. So let's see. Back to the comments here. Call it date night theater. Let's see. This is a multi-text. Here we go. Okay, Cassie. Let's see. Annie and I call it date night theater. But in bog cities, they are 25 to big cities. I'm guessing that was big cities. $25 to $40. That is why I live in the middle of nowhere, Cassie, because that's just insane. That is wow. No, just wow. I quit at that point. No, just no more movies at that point. Guys, let us know in the comments, what was the last movie you went and saw? I'll tell you, the last movie I went to Sonic 2 with my daughters. We had a family movie night earlier this last week. It's Monday now. So last week on our normal date night for my kids, me and my daughters have a night that's just ours. We took out the whole family and went and saw Sonic 2. What was the last movie you saw? Shout out in the comments. Let us know. Maybe you're not a movie theater person. Maybe you are. Going forward, guys, number 2. I want you to take 10 deep breaths. And I'm talking like yoga breaths, okay? Maybe you've never done yoga. I'm talking about the kind of breathing that they talk about, right? When people talk about breath work, maybe you've never heard of breath work. I have a friend who teaches that. But I'm talking like deep, full breaths. We don't do that very often. So, taking 10 deep breaths on a regular basis will absolutely radicalize your life. Because we breathe shallow. The way we're programmed, the way we do things most of the time in our lives, we breathe really shallow. So, 10 deep breaths, maybe your body may be screaming for that and you just have no idea. But take 10 deep breaths. And I'm talking in through the nose for a 3 or 4 count, as full as you can pull it, all the way down. And then out for a 3 or 4 count until you blow it all out. 10 deep breaths can change the course of your life. Not just because you're probably not getting as much oxygen as you think you are and your brain works better that way, but because 10 deep breaths will actually disarm the fight or flight response that is absolutely natural in your body. And it will stop you from acting out of emotions. I can't spell emotions in my notes. I almost said empty notions. Apparently I typed too much today. I cannot spell. But everybody has a fight or flight response, guys. It is perfectly natural. It is perfectly normal. But that's why actually one of those fight or flight responses is that shortness of breath you get when you get overly stimulated very quickly, when something exciting or scary happens, right? That out of breath feeling you get, that right? Out of breath feeling you get, that is actually part of your fight or flight response. I actually did one of my first interviews when I started doing the Fallible Man podcast was a man who calls himself the corporate action hero. John was amazing. You should go back. That was early 2021. It was one of my first interviews. And John was incredible. And he actually used to be a stuntman and he trained stuntmen. And one of the things he told me is when you're standing on top of a giant building looking at this airbag below you to pull this stunt, it doesn't matter how good you are. There's that moment of, yes, thank you, Sarah, John Davis. There's this moment in which you just like, everything stops. And that is the fight or flight response that everybody gets. Even John Davis, who jumped off of buildings and did all kinds of things for a living. So, guys, the way you arrest that is you actually force yourself to breathe. It is actually psychologically and biologically imperative for tackling that fight or flight response. That is how you get out of that instinct response and into your head. Okay. And that's really important. 10 deep breaths will stop you from being in that fight or flight response to a situation and stop you from acting on a knee jerk emotional reaction. I see Shirley joining us. Shirley's good to see you tonight. Thanks for joining us. And Cassie's saying she saw a moonfall. What was moonfall? I'm arguing with my wife now. Moonfall, and before it was The Greatest Showman. Wow, that was a while ago, Cassie. You haven't been in movies much. And Shirley said that she jumped in The Greatest Showman as well. That was the last thing she saw in the movie theater. I highly like Sonic, guys. It was a great, fun family movie. But that's my opinion. I'm that age group, so Sonic was cool. But Bruce Lee once said emotions can be the enemy if you give into your emotion. Okay, he didn't say don't have emotions. I want to be very clear on this. In fact, Sarah, make that bigger for me. I want to be very clear on this. Okay, he did not say don't have emotions. Men get accused of this a lot. He said emotions can be the enemy if you give into your emotion and then you lose yourself. You must be at one with your emotion. Because of the body will follow. I can't read tonight. Because the body always follows the mind. Bruce Lee said that. That's an incredible thought. Okay. And that rings in. Men, you are not absent of emotion. We just try to control our emotions more than some people do. But emotions can be the enemy only if you give in to them. Then you lose yourself. You must be at one with your emotion because the body will always follow the mind. Guys, that's incredibly wise. And that's why I'm saying 10 deep breaths will absolutely change your life. If you get into a situation, whether your kids piss you off because they're being frustrating, because all of us who have children know that is a possibility, whether a coworker upsets you or a friend bothers you, 10 deep breaths will absolutely change your life. Now, Shirley's pointing out that her husband said, and he's a retired police officer, said you don't always have time for 10 deep breaths. Whoops, sorry about that. That is absolutely true. Okay, I'm acknowledging that fact. However, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about most of the time. In an extreme situation, you're right. Okay, there are always extreme situations. And that's one of the problems with being in the world that I'm in is there's always extremes to either end. Those are not the ends I can deal with. There will always be an exception to every rule. I am talking about your normal, everyday life outside of extreme situations that not everybody faces. When that person cuts you off on the highway or steals that parking spot you've been waiting for, 10 deep breaths might keep you out of jail. When your children disobey, 10 deep breaths will keep you from overreacting. When your coworkers piss you off, 10 deep breaths is the difference between being employed and being unemployed. It will absolutely let you arrest that fight or flight response and actually process, right? We go back to our first point, think first, act second. Okay, that 10 deep breaths will give you time to feed into that. And Cassie has a point. 10 deep breaths after an extreme situation to help you deal with the stress from the situation and the repercussions will help in the aftermath. I agree, Cassie, after the situation was resolved. And because I know Armin, I'm going to say, as a retired police officer, he was in some incredible, stressful situations that he's absolutely right. In the moment, there was no way he could have safely done that. But after the moment has passed, 10 deep breaths can help you bring your heart rate down and collect your thoughts and come back to normal life. But And Armin, you have my utmost love, brother, for the fact that you protected us for so many years as a police officer. I am so grateful, as I have several friends who are police officers, and I am so grateful for all of them because they make our lives possible in this state. Now, guys, I want to share with you some incredible news this week that I just got, that I have not shared with anybody yet. So this is very exciting for me. The Fallible Man is doing our first live in-person event. June 10th and 11th. And Sarah, I'm going to stop that scroll for a second. June 10th and 11th at the Quincy Free Methodist Church building in Quincy, Washington, we are putting on the Phoenix, a convention for father figures and male role models. In my time working with men and working with youth, I know there are a lot of men who serve as father figures and male role models for children who don't have that. And so I didn't want to limit this event to just a fatherhood event, but these men are making a difference. Fathers, father figures, and male role models make a huge difference in the lives of so many young people and are so critical. And I'd like to announce that our first confirmed speaker is Dr. Christian Heim. You've seen him on Manly Monday Live when we sat and had a Q&A for men's mental health. Dr. Heim is an award-winning, celebrated clinical psychiatrist from Sydney, Australia. And Dr. Heim will be joining us remotely to talk about the psychological effects of a positive male role model in the life of young people. Dr. Heim is my first confirmed speaker. I actually have several more in the works. And guys, I will reveal that as we go, as time comes. But June 10th and 11th, I will be co-hosting an event with the Quincy Free Methodist Church to serve our local regional area. The tickets are $25 a piece. Registration is not up yet, but we will have a barbecue. We will have lunch catered in one of the days. We will have speakers from around the world to encourage, motivate, and inspire men who are making the difference in the lives of young people. And I highly encourage you guys, selfishly, mainly, I just want to see you guys there. This is an opportunity to come live. I will have some speakers live on stage, and I will have some speakers checking in from Australia via remote. But guys, this is going to be an incredible opportunity. This is our first in-person event, and this is a huge deal. Dr. Heim is just the first of many speakers. I've got 6 speakers that I am lining up for you guys to encourage you, to inspire you, and to just support you on your journey as father figures and positive male role models in the lives of children. I am so excited. We have a temporary placeholder on my website. There's a little bit of a blurb there. I just put that up today. Honestly, it doesn't have a lot of information, but it's going to grow. There's also merchandise that will be on the website shop as well. Guys, it's going to be an incredible 2 days, and it's going to be Friday evening and Saturday, all day Saturday. So, hey, the food is worth the price, and the price, honestly, I am actually going to lose money on this. It is just to cover the cost of the event. And I'm so excited. I'm inviting you guys right now. Y'all are the first people I have told about this event outside my immediate household. So Thursday or Friday and Saturday, June 10th and 11th, the weekend before Father's Day, come to Quincy. Join us and dig in with the Phoenix, a convention for men who are feeling father figures and positive male role models in the lives of children. That is what it's all about, guys, and I am so excited about that. More information will be forthcoming. Now, number 3. Let's get into number 3 when we get back on track. Just wanted to share that. It's such exciting news that I just had to share with you guys. Number 3 is to slow down. The majority of things that freak us out are not near as pressing or urgent as we immediately think they are. And you're going to find out all 3 of these things play together, right? If we think before we act, if we take 10 deep breaths, that will give us the ability to slow down. The majority of things that come at us in life are not as pressing. That's the reactivity coming out in us. That's our reactiveness. Slow down the process so you can see it objectively. In the movie Shooter with Mark Wahlberg, there's a quote that's slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Now, that quote is actually attributed to a decades or if not centuries old jujitsu master. Oh, Sarah's ahead of me. Or Johnbrenner also said to go faster, you must slow down. Now, I don't think Shooter said it first. Probably the jiu-jitsu guy said it first. And probably, honestly, someone much older than him came up with that idea. Okay? It's probably not a new thing. But Johnbrenner's idea of to go faster, you must slow down is contrary to what we normally share with people. And guys, it is so valid in your life. I'm telling you. You have to slow down. Slow it down in your head. I can tell you for a fact, this had to apply to my life today. Okay. I applied this absolutely today because my brain was racing. At 4:30, I realized like, oh wait, I'm supposed to be live in 30 minutes and I haven't set up my studio for my live stream that I normally do. I haven't connected anything up. I'm not ready for my live stream because I was busy building a placeholder on my website for the Phoenix because I've been working on this, guys. I started working on this last year and it just wasn't possible this last year. I am bringing on multiple partners to help me put on an incredible event locally to work in my local area. And we're so excited about it, but it has just happened. Like I just got the green light on this yesterday. I express emailed my contacts with Dr. Heim down in Sydney, Australia. I woke up this morning to a confirmation. I was so excited about that. It has been such an incredibly busy day because my venue took a while to confirm for me. And so I'm about 3 weeks behind and I'm kind of freaking out. I got my live stream and I've got my podcast this week and I'm trying to put together all this stuff. I don't know if you guys have ever done a large scale event. I work on them on a regular basis. 2 or 3 day events are a year's worth of planning usually. And I've got to put this together in 6 weeks. So I'm running in triple time right now, guys. But this is something I had to apply to my life today. Okay. You have to take a breath, right? Give us 10 deep breaths. You have to think before you act. You have to slow it down. Your brain is a marvelous, impressive machine. Your brain is by far, I'm a computer guy. I work in IT and I can tell you for a fact, your brain is so much more impressive than anything we work with in the computer industry. It can do nuanced things that a computer just cannot do. Slow it down. Let your brain work. It feels, and that's our reactions coming out, it feels like, oh, I have to solve this now. But guys, if you slow it down, it will allow you to gain some perspective. And I promise, if you put into exercise these 3 things, put into exercise these 3 incredible, simple actions. Think before you act. Take 10 deep, full breaths, full body breaths, and slow down. You can face so many situations you had no idea you were capable of handling. You are so capable, but we just have to take a breath and get it under control. I promise you, you do so many things in your life. I read a statistic recently where over 86% of the things you do in your day-to-day life are automatic. They're habits. They have nothing to do with conscious thought. 86% of your day, guys, you do it on autopilot. You do it because you've always done it. You do it because that's what you were taught to do. You do it because that's what people who impressed your life did. That is the course of human life. That's the way it works most of the time. And I'm telling you, you can handle such bigger things, such amazing things. But you have to free yourself from those unnecessary taxes. The unnecessary taxes of, I slept in, and so I didn't get something out to defrost for dinner. So now I'm paying for dinner from a fast food place. Not only am I having to pay out of pocket, that also takes a toll on the midsection, right? We all know as adults, fast food is not healthy. Those unintended still can't talk. Unintended consequences, unintended taxes, because you didn't plan on the extra 10 minutes for your drive. The unintended taxes of not being prepared for something because you procrastinated too long. And now you're having to put out more money and put out more time because you didn't plan ahead. We do it all the time, and I'm just as guilty. You know, if you're a Fallible part of the Fallible Nation, if you're a listener here on a regular basis, I am not perfect, and I know it. I am on a journey, and I want to encourage you, and I want to help you, and I want to take this journey together and take as many of you with me as I go on my journey as well, because I think growing yourself is the only thing you're capable of that has the potential to change your life, the lives of the people around you, and the world around you at large. This is what you can handle. You can fix this. The world is crazy. All you have to do is watch the news. It doesn't matter which political party you like. All you have to do is watch the news. The world is insane these days. But you can control you. You can grow you. You can improve you. And by proxy, when you focus on being the best version of yourself, living up to your full potential, you raise up the people around you and you raise up your world around you. Guys, that's how we make a difference. That's how we make change in our lives and in the world. And that's how we reach our full potential, because you were meant for so much more. Think before you act. Take 10 deep breaths. Let your mind steady. Slow it down. And you will absolutely get rid of some of that unnecessary taxes that weigh on your life, whether you realize it or not. Usually we don't catch it till the aftermath when we're reconciling a checkbook or stepping on the scale, because we realize we didn't take the time to cook something we should have, maybe because we got our lives too busy or we fill it with too much filler. Guys, I don't see any questions going on. Katie says it's hard to be present. Hi, Kate. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's good to see you. Thanks for joining on the show. It's hard to be present. Oh, you are so right. I will never front and tell you guys it is easy. Every single day is work. Every day takes work and effort. And just because you didn't get perfect in this moment doesn't stop you. It doesn't set you back. That is one of those fatalistic errors that so many people believe, and it has such a negative effect. Making a mistake doesn't undo all the hard work you did. Making a mistake doesn't rout out the rest of the day. Making a mistake doesn't mean that you are less. It means you are human. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to have days where you make great choices all day long and you make one bad choice. You're going to have days where you make a lot of bad choices, but making one good choice that day, that was huge. Because at least you made that one good choice. It is a conscious effort every day. If change was easy, if growing was easy, then everybody would be perfect. That's just how it is. It's like if exercise were easy and dieting was easy, we'd all be skinny and look like a bunch of Greek gods statues, right? It's not easy. It's not easy to make the right choice every time. And just because you made one bad choice, I was listening to James Clear the other day. I read a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And guys, if you have not read Atomic Habits, I listened to the audiobook. As you guys know, I love audiobooks. James Clear's Atomic Habits is probably one of the best reads I have had in 2 or 3 years. Honest to goodness, I cannot recommend it enough. I don't get any money for that. James Clear's Atomic Habits is one of the best books I've read in years. It's a really easy read too. And if it's an audiobook, it's only like 5 hours. And I listen to them on 1.5 times speed. So I listen to it in 3.5 hours. Okay. One of the things that he talks about is, okay, you made a mistake, but you don't make the same mistake twice. You made one wrong choice, or you had one break, right? You committed to going to the gym and you missed this workout. Don't miss the next one. It's not the end of the world. It is so hard to be present. It is so hard to be present in every decision. But from practice, it will get easier. From practice, you will build a habit. If you focus on practicing it, if you focus on doing these three things, you will start to audit back so much tax on your life, whether it's financial, whether it's taxing the time, your resources, your energy. Practicing these three things will help you claim that back and stop paying those taxes that you aren't getting the representation for that you want. Okay. Those tolls are coming out, period. It doesn't matter. Guys, I don't see any questions or comment. I am so grateful for you joining me tonight. I love hanging out with you guys. Thank you, Shirley. Thank you, Cassie. Thank you, Katie, for joining. Thank you, Common Man, Sarah. And I know there's more people online than that. Actually, the counter on my end of it shows things very weirdly. Guys, I love you guys. It is so good to see you. And thank you for joining us on Manly Monday. Since I don't see any questions in the comments, and let me look at my email real quick. I don't see any comments on the forum. Nobody wants to come on the show. That's okay. I don't see anything going on, guys. As always, be better tomorrow because of what you do today. We'll see you on the next one.